Alright, what's up guys? In this video we're going over how to do simple frame animations all in Procreate. Procreate had a recent update this year that added in frame by frame animations with onion skinning. It's really cool. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just working at screen size just for brevity's sake. Let's go ahead and set a cool background color. I like working with a dark background color. Let's do a cool dark though, because that's literally what I just said. Let's go ahead and on a new layer add in some thing to just have as our background. This could be a background you draw for a character animation. For me, it's just going to be still text. So I'll go ahead and add some text in there. Create, insert text, or add text. There it is. And I'll just do my last name. Make that like something bold real quick. Futura, bold. Done. Increase that size. Okay, cool. So let's start this animation, right? I'll just have what I kind of showed at the beginning, where we have this cool little squiggly line, going around. Lots of other tutorials on YouTube will show you how to make drips, will show you how to animate something kind of like a popping or exploding. Let's just go through the basics today. I am going to, under settings, under canvas settings, turn on the animation assist. And that gives me this little timeline at the bottom, right? If I click on the settings there, this is what I have working for me right now. I have it on loop, so the animation will play on loop. I have 15 frames per second. Normally, if you're working at video, you want to be at like 24 or 30, but for the simple little basic thing we're working, 15, if not 12 is great. I have the onion skin frames set to max. You'll see what that is in a second, and then the onion skin opacity set to 60%. I think most of this is the default settings. So what is interesting about Procreate is that if I go to my layers, every layer Procreate sees as a frame. Every layer Procreate sees as a different frame in the animation, right? So for each frame, I need a new layer. Let's set this layer to be a background. So if I just move this layer down to right above my background color, you see that now it's my first frame, right? I'm gonna go ahead and delete that empty frame for now. I'll make it back later. Check this out. If I press and hold on this one single frame now, press and hold, or tap, there it is, just tap once. I can select background. What that means is that this frame will always be visible. Now, check it out. If I hit the button at the bottom that says add frame and open my layers, I see what that did is that created a new layer. So I'm gonna grab a basic brush real quick. I'll stick with a monoline brush. I'm working at 100% size. I'm just going basics. I'm gonna encourage you guys to play and create something that's more than what I'm showing right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this little line right here, right? Just this little guy right now. And if I hit add frame again at the bottom, that line starts to fade. If I open my layers, I see I have now frame 2. What that faded frame is called an onion skin. If I draw a second frame, you see I can draw on top of frame 1 and still see frame 1. If I add another frame, I can then see frames 1 and 2. They're fading. So I'm going to start this process, right? I'm going to add frame, draw a new line. Add frame, draw a new line. We'll start to give it some motion here. Add frame, draw a new line. And this entire time, you see that every time I click add frame, it makes a new layer. And that's how Procreate works with layers and animations. So if I click add frame and start this process, so this is called onion skinning, because what it is from is like way back in the day with, our original old cartoon animations. Animators would draw on literal physical like onion skins, right? Like onions have layers and all that good stuff, right? Because the reason being is you could see through, to an extent, an onion skin. So you always see what you're animating. Now you can see that in the settings, I had it to max, so it shows me, I think, the last 10 or so frames. Eventually they'll fade away. You can reduce that. If that's too many frames, like you're animating completely on top of what you just drew in the last frame, maybe you want less frames. So let's go ahead and just finish this loop up real quick. If I draw on smaller pieces, the loop moves slower. If I draw on bigger pieces, the loop moves faster. And then I'm gonna try to finish it up right around where I started. I can quickly hit play over here, and there it is. So again, if I draw in bigger pieces that are further apart, it's gonna move faster. If I draw in smaller pieces that are closer together, it's gonna move slower. And that's the basics of timing and spacing with all that good animation. But this is the basics. To save it, if I pause that, click on my wrench, click share, I can down here save it as an animated GIF or animated MP4. So a GIF is just a basic image file, right? It's hard G GIF, or an MP4, which is a video file. If I click on animated GIF, still 15 frames per second. It still loops. If I wanted to, I could set transparent background. I click export, bam. That is the very basics of starting frame by frame animations in Procreate. Thanks for watching.